Delicious News Network. There are a lot of issues going on in the world today, and by simply being more informed, you will be able to make more informed opinions on everything that's going on in the world. According to CBSNews.com, accessed on May 5th, 2015, a quarter of university students do not know who they actually voted for. That is the equivalent of 25 million people voting blindly. That is a lot of uninformed people. And today, to help us with that, we have Mateo Alejandro Navejas, which is a CNN reporter, military journalist Logan Brown, Red Cross director Ruli Barber, People's Magazine news writer Tiana Calderon, and Newsnet and social media mogul Chevelle Creighton. Today, we're going to cover topics ranging from the riots in Baltimore to the Nepal earthquakes, and even solutions on how we can be more informed on these decisions. So let's start off with Mateo Alejandro Navejas with the history of riots and how they should be handled.
There's been a lot of controversy lately in the news about police brutality. These issues have brought many people to protest and unfortunately riot. Understanding the situation in these places is critical before making any judgment on what actually is going on. According to MatadorNetwork.com, accessed April 21st, 2015, it's clear that the cause of a riot almost near justifies the cost of senseless brutality, meaning nothing was really beneficial from it. I believe that when it comes to the riots in Baltimore, Ferguson, and even New York, there is a message that the people protesting initially wanted to get out. Unfortunately, there are people taking advantage of this situation and end up in riots. As a nation watching what's going on, we need to understand and reach out to these communities that are going through this. Coming together to solve an issue peacefully is the only way we can achieve things needed to be done. Riots usually occur due to grievance of an unjust death or poor working and living conditions. The people that are living in these communities really do have it tough. They have a different lifestyle and they are less fortunate than the average American. This by means does not give them a right to burn down buildings or loot businesses, although the media portrays these situations on how we want us to see it. Try to be more aware and involved before making an opinion. We are all human beings and we all want to be heard, so just try to listen.
Very interesting. Now that we've learned more about riots, let's move over to Logan Brown while he talks about the misconceptions of the group ISIS.
According to the Onion.com's article, What is ISIS? June 18th, 2014, ISIS is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, a formerly Al-Qaeda organization that has been seizing countries in Iraq and Syria, carrying out mass killings, and marching towards Baghdad. A common misconception is that ISIS is just a terrorist organization that kills civilians for publicity. But according to Audrey Kurth Cronin in her article, ISIS is not a terrorist group. March 2015, although it uses terrorism as a tactic, it is not really a terrorist organization at all. Terrorist networks such as Al-Qaeda generally have dozens or hundreds of members, attack civilians, do not hold territory, and cannot directly confront any military forces. She goes on to say that ISIS, on the other hand, boasts some 30,000 fighters, holds territory in both Iraq and Syria, controls lines of communication, commands infrastructure, funds itself, and engages in sophisticated military operations. They are slowly expanding their control and are aspiring to be their own nation. What most people don't know is that ISIS is much more than just a terrorist organization and needs to be stopped before it takes complete control of Syria, a large portion of Iraq, and becomes its own nation.
Wow, that's so interesting. Now that we've cleared the air with ISIS, let's go over to Ruli Barber and as he informs us about the tragic earthquakes in Nepal.
From debris of homes flattened by the earthquake, at the entrance of this destroyed mountain village, a wooden sign stands and it says, "We need help." According to HuffingtonPost.com, access May 5, 2015, the extent of the damage from the magnitude of a 7.8 earthquake is still unknown as reports keep filtering in from remote areas. The UN estimated the quake affected 8.1 million people, more than a quarter of Nepal's 28 million people. And then they found that 7,040 were dead, and the rest are just not able to find. Now, the aftermath of all that was a shortage of paved roads, and they can't get assistance because most of the people that live around the village are in remote regions where they can't really get help, and that's where it's needed most. According to Time Magazine, accessed May 5th, 2015, the economic cost of the earthquake is between $1 billion to $10 billion for a country with annual gross domestic product of $20 billion. Now, in Nepal, tourism is a big thing because near there is Mount Everest. And how the earthquake affected Mount Everest was 17 climbers were found dead and 200 still missing. So an avalanche took place when that happened. And the only way you guys can help is by donating. So I'm part of the American Red Cross, so you should donate to us, but you don't have to exactly donate there. There's other organizations like UNICEF and Oxfam, so you guys should definitely donate because it will help out a lot of people that are lost.
Now that we know more about the Nepal earthquakes and donating, let's go over to Tiana Calderon as she informs us about the judgment that Bruce Jenner faces.
According to the website Time.com, accessed on May 3rd, 2015, former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, who spoke at a convention in South Carolina supporting Olympian Bruce Jenner, told CBS News reporters, "My responsibility as a human being is to love and respect everyone, not to criticize for people for who they are." In the society we live in today, we as people tend to jump to conclusions and easily judge. I thought this was a perfect example of someone who showed compassion for someone else's lifestyle. In an article of People's Magazine called Inside His Life Now, accessed on May 1st, 2015, Jenner stated, "For all intents and purposes, I am a woman." Jenner finally came out after knowing for years that he wasn't just an average normal man. From a child, he would dress up in his mother's clothing and heels without anyone knowing. He felt coming out would have people disappointed and not accepted until now. Jenner is now confident and happy with himself. He had a couple of surgeries to look more like a woman, and told People Magazine he's so excited about everything female.
Now that we've learned about all of these topics and uninformed opinions, let's move over to Chevelle Creighton with the solution to all of this madness.
Social media provides mass communication to many people in the world. From the riots, ISIS, the earthquakes, and the new lifestyle of Bruce Jenner. Social media provides a way for people to discuss information that they have heard and shared online with popular websites such as Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and much more. According to an article, Social Media and Awareness in Global Society, published April 5th, 2012, 67% of social media users say that they rely on social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn to find out the news and what's trending in today's society. With the recent events that have occurred internationally, both natural and politically, it is hard not to notice the impact social networking continues to have on the awareness of the world news. In terms of being aware and educated on what's happening around the globe, not only is it easier to relate on social media for the news in the world, it is easier to give your thoughts, opinions, and feedbacks. Thanks to social media, we get to know a wide range of economic, political, social, environmental, and cultural problems affecting the world today. Social media has become a way to spread messages to others and draw attention to the important things going on in the world today. Social media is an important tool that helps us communicate and reshape the way we look at the world.
Thank you for that, Chevelle. According to Bernard Duffy in the article Martin Luther King Jr., I Have a Dream. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. And I'm pretty sure in this dream, he envisioned all of us to be able to make informed decisions and opinions on these topics. Now that we went through all of these topics, next time that you come across any of these, you'll be able to make your own informed opinion and judgment.